Good day, good day, everyone, and welcome again to All for Success. This again is a Sussex friendly channel and a channel that discusses other things that might be happening, but they tend to generally relate to supporting the Sussex family, Harry and Meghan. But we do love to talk about other things. So as you come on in and as other people are coming online, I want you to get your coffee ready, take a moment or take a break in your morning ritual and have a coffee break. Sit down a few minutes if you like. Or for those of you who are up and around, put on your headphones and listen to us during this live chat, and this will keep you company as you're out, maybe getting your steps in, getting your walk on, or as you are looking around to see what's going on and running errands in your day. So, this is a moment where we have to give our report of all of our fitness goals. I want you to know I had an opportunity to get out at least 3 times this week and do several short walks. I made it to about a mile and a quarter for about each one, and it only took maybe 20 minutes during the day. I felt much better afterwards, and I'm going to try to keep this up. So I'm going to ask all of you who are on the walking game, or if that is one of your goals, to get out there and get your feet on the ground and have some fun walking it out and getting a little bit of fitness in. One of the new things I've started doing too is, although I don't particularly care for going to the gym, I have started going over there from time to time, and I thought I needed to add in a tad bit of weight training. So I'm truly enjoying that, and that is becoming a lot of fun. So I want each of you to be able to enjoy some of the same things that I enjoy. So I'm going to need to take a short pause for just a moment. I'm going to ask each of you to stand by as I start to bring up some of my slides and apparatus for what's about to come up and what we're going to chat about. So I want each of you to just take a second, get your coffee ready, and I'm going to start giving you some of my thoughts on what's been happening this week. All right, everybody got your coffee? Good, and you're ready to go, I hope. All right. So we're going to take a look at several things that are coming up. Okay, so I wanted to begin by letting you all know that who Harry is, right? In this wonderful photo from his book that he has published, Spare. Many of us have had the opportunity, depending on your age, to watch Harry grow up from a young boy to the grown man that he is today. And we are watching Harry as he is navigating this landmine of things going on between him and his family and his life with his wife. And for most of us, we're somewhat shocked and surprised at the fact that his family would allow him to experience what he is experiencing. We're a tad bit shocked by that. We can't understand it. And that is for those of us who are in families where we feel fairly comfortable. Of course, if we look around us, we also know that there are many people who are in families where this is not the case. Many people come from families where various arguments and various disagreements are going on, and they are often at odds with each other. So it's not that we're not aware of it. We just are surprised to see it on the industrial scale, unless you're watching reality TV. A family like the Kardashians, perhaps you're watching them with everything in their family is a controversy. And so that's exactly what they market. The fact that they are a controversial family in the middle of a lot of confusion. And people, in a sense, pay to see that. Okay, but with the royal family, you generally don't expect it. So what is happening in the um, world today with the Harry and Meghan situation, we finally got through that coronation and the back and forth discussions of whether Harry would attend or not, whether Meghan would attend or not. We've gotten through that. The coronation went off. Harry attended, Meghan did not. And the news cycle actually spent most of their time discussing that, although they pretended they were going to focus more on the king and the coronation. So they were a little bit dodgy in that because the king and the coronation, it was only going to draw the amount of people that it draw. You know, it was only going to be the situation that it was. Now, also during that coronation, there were protests in several areas, although they did arrest people in the crowds that they felt might have caused some sort of disruption. There were some protesters that actually had signs and pictures of Meghan Markle, and I thought that was quite entertaining. There were some people that had signs up that said things like this one, the People's Princess, which was quite, um, I don't know, I didn't expect that, but yet there it was. So the British people are going to be going through many trials as things are going on. They're already having difficulties, just like here in the U.S., where there are some areas that they're going to be fighting and protesting, and that's like strikes. You've got workers having issues, nurses and teachers and railroad workers. So instead of the customary media truly focusing on what is their government and political structure, instead of them having a tight lens and compliments and interests of that, they are instead, one of the number one news stories is always Harry and Meghan, whatever they're doing that day, wherever they're going, or whatever they're thinking. They report constantly on what Harry and Meghan might be thinking about or what they may do in the future. And I believe, just like here in the US, it's beginning to become apparent, even to some of the diehard people in the UK, that this news coverage is a cover up or a distraction. It appears that more and more people are becoming aware that there is a heavy distraction for news that is targeted to Harry and Meghan, which is covering most of their newspapers. There is a report, and I'm sure many of you squatties who participate in listening to other podcasts like Baron or Duchess, you are finding out that there is actually a list that has been published of the number of stories produced about Harry and Meghan and the derogatory stories that are produced for Meghan. I think someone clocked approximately 136 in 4 hours negative reports about Meghan. However, on the flip side, from the UK perspective, their newspapers are not covering things like what are the laws in the EU that the Brexiters decided to use that they wanted to leave. You know, they don't go through those things in detail. Many people in the UK are completely unaware that Brexit had a significant effect on Northern and Southern Ireland. Many people don't even have a conversation in their homes about what a significant impact Brexit had on their economy. However, wall to wall footage on Harry and Meghan. And I believe the UK is slowly becoming aware of this possibility that they are being, in a sense, duped. In the meantime, what Meghan is doing, someone did capture a photo of her and another friend that she had connected with as they were collecting donations and they were doing a drive for the children of the Uvalde shooting. Unbeknownst to a lot of people, after that shooting occurred and during the time when they were amassing a lot of support for the families of Uvalde, that your Duchess of Success, Sussex, that is Meghan, decided to go to Uvalde and participate in quite a few volunteer efforts. And one of those volunteer efforts is the Kaboom Project. This project, and there are donations open, or they are open to receive donations for this project, and they only had a goal, I believe, of something like 20,000. Well, they have much more than exceeded that goal. I will later on put a link to the Kaboom endeavor in my community page. But this actual nonprofit organization has done some wonderful work. What they really focus on in areas where there might be some type of disruption or distress, they are building numerous playgrounds and outdoor spaces in hopes of supporting young people, to give them an opportunity to focus on play. So that's one of those big issues and one of her big areas of support. So that's what Meghan is doing. She is doing things like that. Meanwhile, in the UK, they are contemplating and thinking about the fact that she and Harry might be arguing about things. But if you notice, this is what she's actually doing in real life, continuing to do her service work and continuing to volunteer and help others where she can. You know, she's in the area of opening food banks, and she's in the area of donating goods and services to areas where they're supporting mothers and mothers care. And her t-shirt that she's wearing right there is in support of motherhood. This young mother who is with her featured actually lost her son, and so she developed a nonprofit as well. And unbeknownst to the popular media in the UK, this is what Meghan is focused on. Now, on the other side, I don't know if any of you were watching some of the clips that were coming out about things that the royal family were participating in and volunteering. It was more of outdoor work, you know, digging holes because they're supposed to be doing some groundbreaking ribbon cutting opportunities for facilities in Britain. And I'm going to put it to you the way that most of the squatties absorb it. Most of us don't even know what that is. It's almost imperceivable what it is that they are supporting. But I'm sure the media will cover what it is that they're supposed to be supporting and why it's important. But to the rest of us, it's almost like an invisible type of work. Now, out of all this, also, as the coronation was wrapping its way through the UK media, this wonderful actress who plays in the featured episodes of The Bridgertons, the character is Lady Danbury. And she is a phenomenal character in the series, and most people really do enjoy watching her. Her name is Adoja Ando. I believe I'm pronouncing that correct. And what she was doing was being a visiting commentator on a news program or one of those talk shows. And during the coronation, they were commenting on, you know, how people looked, what they were wearing, and the like. And she made a statement that was considered very controversial. She said something to the effect that the balcony of the coronation appeared to be terribly white. And this statement created a huge amount of backlash. People were very upset with her for the fact that she made that comment. They want to, of course, place it in the box of racism. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out for her as she's coming up on all sorts of other activities. But we're going to stand by and hope that it doesn't affect her career in any way, because she has always been quite a delightful personality in all of the film work that she does. So we are going to stand by and watch for that, and hopefully maintain support for all of the wonderful work that she does, because she is an interesting actress. Now, she did apologize for having made that comment, and hopefully, it won't have too much what they call, people in the background that will try to destroy her career. But I have no doubt they won't try. Now, we also have an occurrence that was quite interesting, and many people also noticed, and they're going to be talking about it, is after the coronation, I believe, this is Prince William noted giving an award. It's one of these very high honors, a lieutenant of something in the royal order. And he's giving this award to a gentleman named Jason Knauf. Now, squatties know who Jason Knauf is. But for those of you who don't know who Jason Knauf is, the one in the photo here featured receiving this award, he is the young man that worked in the Kensington Palace with Harry and Meghan, and was somewhat assigned a role like he was their personal interface with the staff uh, during their time being a part of the royal family. So this gentleman, Jason Knauf, would have been a person that initially Harry and Meghan would have looked at as an ally. He would have been someone that would have been working with them. And so he would have been helping them keep their calendar events. He would have been someone that they would have been talking to about what's coming up next, where to go, who they're going to go see. He was sort of like a super aide and their, what I would call, media relations type person. Well, the thing is, because the palace is organized the way it is, and the royal family, of course, being an organization the way it is, this gentleman, although he may have seemed to be working for Harry and Meghan, he's actually employed by William, right? He actually would have been an employee of the firm itself, not necessarily their employee. And this gentleman became controversial in that when Meghan was encouraged to write a letter to her father to discuss some of the things that he might have been doing or saying to the press and some of its effect on their royal lives. And she was, writing how she felt about what was going on between him and the media. And the letter itself was, a standard letter from a daughter to her father, and she was somewhat distraught. She was very, what do you call the word? She was very taken aback at the relationship that her father was developing with the press. And many of us, you followed that throughout their wedding. So she was encouraged to write this letter to her father, and the encouragement came from what we were told. Now, remember the book Spare. This is where you go back to Spare as your reference book. She was encouraged to do this by, it would appear, King Charles and at that time, Queen Elizabeth. All right, so if you're watching this like a movie, so keep that in mind. She's encouraged to write this letter, so she writes this letter. Well, there wasn't much time that had passed before excerpts, portions of the letter, were given to the media, leaked to the press. And this really sent Harry and Meghan into a tailspin. Because basically, what she said to her father in the letter, how she said it, the tone, and all of these things were being scraped over by news organizations and on television. There were copies, actually mock ups on several television shows. And folks were like horrified. And so then they took out whatever portions they could that made her seem like such a monster and talked about that for weeks. Well, this young man is a individual who actually found himself in the crosshairs because Meghan actually filed a lawsuit about this situation because that letter was a personal letter that she wrote to her father. And that means that someone else took it upon themselves to publicize her letter. And the individual who testified in this case, who was given permission to go over and give their side of the story, was this guy, Jason Now. So what the squatties have come to the conclusion of, and what many people came to the conclusion of, is that Jason Now was actually the individual behind leaking a very private letter between Meghan Markle and her father to the press. And then not soon after, he was sent off somewhere else to work and given a promotion. And here again, you see him being lauded by Prince William. So these are the kinds of things that, as folks on the outside, as we're watching, you're seeing some of the pieces of the puzzle come together that appear to be behind this complete global smear campaign against Meghan Markle. And these people are producing this smear campaign throughout the Commonwealth, and they're trying to export it here to the United States. And I'm sure you all are aware of their favorite character referred to as Piers Morgan, allegedly, right? All of these things, by the way, are alleged. Yeah, let me make sure I say that, because there is no proof that they're terrible and awful people. It just looks this way. And the news guy, or I wouldn't even call it news, but I would say the talking head, Piers Morgan, is also a person or a personality that would like to impart his views of his hatred of Meghan Markle and Harry. He would like to bring that back to the United States. And he would also like to come over periodically and confirm that people in the United States hate Harry and Meghan as much as he does. He's always on television. He's always talking to various personalities here. And in our world, in the US, he's always talking to the predictable talking heads that are going to sit across from him at a table and agree that everyone should hate Harry and Meghan. And he believes these people that he's talking to here in the US have influence over the rest of us and will make the rest of us hate Harry and Meghan. It's unbelievable. So with that said, what we're going to do is get ready to wrap up here in just a few moments, because I've enjoyed having this live chat. And for many of you, I want you to know I'm going to practice how to bring up callers in the live chat. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but I'm going to work on it. And as I learn to bring up callers in the live chat, we are going to then have a little bit of discussion about where we see this going in the future. So, lastly, I wanted to let you know, as you notice in this photo right here, this is our wonderful prince as he is returning from Afghanistan. And I want you all to understand, and this is how I see Harry today, as many people in the UK press, They like to call him dumb. They think he's unprepared. They don't think he's ready. They think he's overreacting and all of these things. But this photo to me sums up the Harry that they're actually dealing with. And to me, this photo is the photo that explains why the rest of the UK media and the UK world, the people who are attacking him, why they are finding themselves in the situation they're in. Because right now they're going to all be fighting for their lives in court. And he is going to expose, and his court case is going to expose a lot of things that are happening in the media, but not just the media. When I go back, and we are going to, again, we're going to start referencing his written material, because what he has done is actually laid out a roadmap in his material as to who he believes to be involved in many of his life's struggles. And it's going to be entertaining to watch how they try to defend themselves. So with that, what they're dealing with is this photo of Harry. They're dealing with this man. They think they're still fighting the little red-headed, quick talking and cheeky, as they like to put it, and mischievous teenager. That's who they think they're dealing with. They don't realize what they're dealing with is this person in this photo. This person has a mission, 100% driven, and they know they are in combat. Now, it's going to take them a minute to understand and recalibrate, but that right now, they are still fighting with him like they think they're talking to a child, like they believe they are able to overcome him like a young kid. They don't realize they're in a war. They have no idea. But I believe during this court case, they're going to begin to see that. And I don't know how this will turn out, but I know that it will not end. I think they believe that they're going to have this court case and then 2 weeks later it's going to be over. But that is not going to be the case, because Harry has already declared, just like he did in his book, that the fact that the media has made so many stories about so many people turn their lives inside out and upside down, they don't realize that this has become his life mission. And if they had read Spare, they would understand, because that's exactly what he said in his book. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm so glad that you all were here to participate, and I hope you enjoy my chat. And we're going to get ready to skip on out. Once again, please hit the like and subscribe button for me. Please, please, please. I'm going to try to get my numbers up as I still try to learn my way through this thing. And for those of you who may have missed some portions, just go back and replay. I'm going to be putting up a few videos as the week goes on. Also, keep your steps and going, your exercise going, get your workout in, and we want to make sure we all stay in our best health, because we need to be at our best in order to support the folks we are dealing with throughout our lives. So everybody, keep yourselves going, keep your head up. We're going to stay positive, and keep your eye out for all the news. And there are some really thrilling things happening. So this month and next month, that's when the court cases are going to get started. It's going to be exciting. Thanks again, everybody.